This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
And you are now listening to the Viewers Anonymous podcast. What's up with you, brother?
Can't call it, man. You know, another day. Just trying to get shit done, man, behind the scenes, man. You know a lot of the shit that I'm working on, man. So It's just trying to get a lot of things straightened out. Dot the T's. Cross the T's, dot the I's, trying to do all that type of shit, man.
Right.
But how you feeling, man? Everything good?
Oh, great. You on another level. You dotting the T's, my nigga. You already doing it big. Nah, man, I'm great, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I told you off air, man, I'm waiting to get this license, man. Ohio got this stupid rule where they got to send you your license through the mail instead of getting it when you go to the BMV. So outside of that, man, everything is great. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing a lot of brainstorming, bro. I've been doing a lot of brainstorming. I told you a few ideas off air. I got some more stuff in the works that I'm thinking about doing. Especially with this podcast. You know what I'm saying? That's something we'll talk about later, of course. But, you know, I know we mentioned the Patreon thing not too long ago. And, you know what I'm saying? I've been sitting down, writing down some ideas for it that I want to run across you and see, you know, what you like, what you don't like. Possibly even, you know what I'm saying, going to the socials with it and seeing, with the listeners, if they have any ideas or what they would like to see out of the Patreon or anything like that. So, yeah, man, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Crossing the T's, dotting the I's, man. Just brainstorming and working, bro.
Hey, man, I feel you, man. I mean, and look, and that's a dope idea, man, because I'm trying to think, like, I've only heard clips of Patreon episodes, you know, shit like Flagrant 2 or, you know what I'm saying, Joe will put up some clips and they tend to have different types of conversations, you know what I'm saying, when they come to Patreon. So I'm just trying to think how flagrant I'm going to be on the motherfucking Patreon.
Oh, trust me. On the Patreon, it's going to get crazy.
Oh, yeah.
we ain't got to hold back and be PC on the Patreon. So.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
That's gonna be you know what I'm saying, a fire thing to do, man. So man, listen, this, you know what I'm saying, everybody already knows this is, you know what I'm saying, the Snowfall episode, of course. But before we get into it, before we, you know what I'm saying, get to talking about this crazy episode that just came up,
I'm telling
you know what I'm saying, because it's some things going down.
Things
going down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But before we do that, man, of course, you know what I'm saying, it's the second episode of the week. So you already know we got to talk to y'all about what we watching, man. As I'm about to start calling it the side chick movies of the week. These are the movies, you know what I'm saying, that basically are the side chicks to the episode. These may even be some movies that you can watch with your side chick. Who knows, man? Let's get into it, man. What we watching? So, man, what you got, bro?
Oh, I'm up first. So,
yes, sir.
This is something I started last week, right? And I mentioned it, but I told you I started something new, but I was like, I'm going to save it for next week because I was finishing up. I ended up watching this. Like, you know, when you get into one of those Netflix shows and they're just like, I'm going to watch a couple, you know, watch episode here, episode there. Dude, finished it over the weekend. There's a show came out last week called Pieces of Her on Netflix. Yo, that shit was dope as fuck. And, like, basically what it ended up being was, so long story short, there's this lady having lunch with her daughter. You could tell, like, there's a little bit of friction there. So they're eating at this restaurant, and this lady and her daughter come up, and like they're having a conversation with them. So there's this dude in the background just looking. So then the dude gets up. Now we're talking about a white suburban neighborhood, no crime ever happened there. A restaurant full of white people. White dude get up, pull out a gun, shoot the one chick in the chest in front of everybody. So everybody in the restaurant go under the tables and shit. And then the mom trying to comfort her daughter, dude shoot the mom.
Mm-hmm.
So then dude go to shoot the other girl. She had on it's like a police uniform, but she's a 911 caller dispatcher.
Yeah.
So she's not really a cop. So the dude thinks she's a cop. He's like, "You a cop? Why you ain't doing that?" And so her mom steps in front of her, right? So old dude run out of bullets. So he pulled out a knife, a big ass Rambo knife. Yeah. He goes to stab Mom Dukes. Mom Dukes put a hand up, and the knife go through her hand, right? So she's standing there, and then she do this little move and cut his neck while the knife was in her hand, right? So you thinking like, yo, there's something up with this chick. Long story short, the lady ended up being in protective custody for the FBI, and her daughter never knew. Her daughter was like 30. She's been in protective custody for 30 years. Daughter had no idea they was in protective custody. And what it was, they did a political crime back in the day, and they ended up kidnapping somebody and got some ransom money for it. And what she did is she sold her boyfriend back then out, but he was on the run. He was on FBI, most wanted, all that type of shit. So there's a lot of pieces in it, man. But it ended up being a really, really good show, man. It's on Netflix. It's called Pieces of Her. Came out last week.
Okay then. That sounds all right. I'm gonna have to put that on my list, man. Okay, so for me, I don't have any TV shows. I'm not coming off of no streaming services, man. I watched The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, you know what I'm saying, Zoe Kravitz, Colin Farrell, and a host of other people. And I don't know how to feel about it. I'm on the fence. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't what everybody hyping it up to be either. You know what I'm saying? I know. I believe it was like, I think it was. Man, what was I listening to? Van Lathan. He has a podcast called The Ringerverse. He has a podcast with a group of other people, and they call it The Ringerverse. And his side of the podcast, they do instant reactions. So like they watch it and then instantly go to the pod, right? And so on that episode of the Ringerverse, they were saying how it's like top 3 in all the Batman movies. And I thought about it, man. I thought real hard. It's not top 3, bro. It may be top 5, 6 at best. I mean, 6 at the least. 6 at the least. It don't go no further than 6, but definitely not top 3. You know what I'm saying? It's fighting for like the 5-6 spot, but it's definitely not top 3. But I wasn't disappointed though. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not sure where I'm at with it yet. I may have to watch it again just to, you know what I'm saying, check it out. It was a lot of Easter eggs in that joint. But my only beef with the movie, right, is that every time somebody is talking to Batman while he in costume, they trying to sound like Batman. That's my only beef in the movie. So like Jeffrey Wright, salute to Jeffrey Wright, bro. Actor extraordinaire, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite roles that Jeffrey Wright played was Peoples. I think his name was like Peoples Hernandez in Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson. So so he plays Jim Gordon in the movie. Right, he Commissioner Gordon. Well, not Commissioner yet, but he Commissioner Gordon in the movie. And like every time he talking to Batman, he sound like Batman. So like if you're not paying attention, and like you know how like you be doing something and you can still hear the movie. Like if you just listening to the movie, it sound like Batman trying to talk to Batman. So it's like that's my only beef with the movie though. So outside of that, bro, everything is good. Zoe Kravitz did a hell of a job as Catwoman. Even though she wasn't like officially Catwoman in the movie, but she was, you know what I'm saying, Selena Kyle. Jeffrey Wright did do a great job playing Commissioner Gordon though. And Robert Pattinson, man, shocked the shit out of me, but he actually played a pretty good Batman. I'm not mad at it. I'm definitely not mad. Now, if you saying who are the best Batmans, Robert Pattinson is definitely a top 3 Batman. I will say that.
Okay. Well,
I will say
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go see it tomorrow.
yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
But if you like Jeffrey Wright, like you say, I'm telling you, man, there's a Netflix movie called All Day and Night, man. I'm telling you, this is a different.
He's the star.
Well, he's like the co-star, and it's a movie that I had told you about a while back, but because Jeffrey Wright is just he's a different kind of actor because he's mysterious in like everything that he plays. And one thing that he do, the roles that he select, he's usually always a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's never like the dumbest dude in the room when he play a character. So he's really he's very particular about the things that he do. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go see the Batman tomorrow actually, man, to see what is rocking with. Man, I had people hitting me in the DMs like, yo, but have you seen the Batman yet? I'm like, I ain't seen it yet. And they're like, yo, like this Batman is the best one and all this type of stuff. I was like, man, slow your roll. I said, give me a chance to see it. Yeah. And I was like, I'll get back to you. So yeah, I'm gonna go see it tomorrow, man. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's interesting because like he's a younger Batman. And I think this is well, I think the only other person that really did it like that was Christian Bale. But like this is like young Batman, right? Like this is where, you know what I'm saying, he still kind of got that anger in him. Like he still, you know what I'm saying, got that chip on his shoulder. But as far as him like playing, because like they kept saying he was like an emo Batman. But I'm like, nigga, Batman is emo. like like that's I didn't get that, but I mean, as far as what he was doing, he shocked me. Robert Pattinson is always Edward from Twilight.
Let me ask you this though. One question before we move on. Mm-hmm. I had somebody tell me that when it came to Tenet, he killed it and John David Washington was all right. I had somebody tell me that. And I'm like, yo, what movie are you watching? I like, now he did a great job.
You barely see Robert Pattinson in that movie.
But like, what John David Washington had to do and learn how to fight backwards and all this type shit and like everything, like I was just like, yo, we didn't see the same movie, obviously. I was like, yo, we didn't see the same thing. Like, but okay,
they may be an Edward fan, man.
Could be. I wouldn't.
I was Team Jacob, unfortunately.
I mean, I was too, but I was just so sick of old girl. But I was like, look, man, you need to make your mind up, yo. Who you trying to be with? Yo? She got on my nerves.
Too. I didn't like the fact that they made them turn into wolves.
Hey, but, all right, we ain't going down.
I know. That shit pissed me off. Like they was at such a disadvantage, bro. In the fights, I'm like, my nigga, he's a wolf. He don't got no thumbs, no nothing. These niggas, like, come on, bro. It was just stupid, bro. It was stupid, man.
That's funny.
All right, man. So we finally here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Got the what we watching's out the way. Y'all make sure to go check those out. But episode 4, man. Initial thoughts. Where you at?
Oh man. So much happened.
Yes.
I mean, there's so much to cover here, but that my initial thoughts was there is about to be the whole thing of where there's smoke, there's fire. Like there's some smoke right now.
Oh, indeed.
Like, there's about to be a huge eruption, and you can feel it, you can sense it. I'm still trying to. When we get to Leon, I think that's another. Leon is becoming like, even though he's not on the screen as much as he was in the past, his scenes are so interesting now.
Yeah.
To where it's like he is becoming like a huge vocal point because we don't know where he's going. So
he steals the show too.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be like the whole story. The story of Leon is interesting. Seeing Sissy back, I'm trying to figure out who she with, who she working for, what she done got involved in. Sissy is some shit. So my initial thoughts, man, was it's just like, yo, this show just gets better and better, dude. Like with episode by episode, it's getting better and better. So man, they're doing a tremendous
As
job.
always, man. As always. For me, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. You already know how I feel about the cop.
Yeah.
So that first scene when they showed him and Lou talking at the Louis, when him and Louis was talking under the train tracks or whatever the hell they was, it just go to show you, man, like dude is a trash bag, bro. To go through the projects and do what he did, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, when Louis was like, you know, our people, and he was like, what you mean our people? So, you know what I'm saying? I kind of figured he was one of those type of people.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see where that dynamic goes, because I got a feeling that Louis gonna have to catch a body. And if she don't, it's gonna be Jerome. So I don't know, man. That was a very interesting scene. Also, man, Sissy coming back. Oh my goodness. That was out of nowhere. That was out of nowhere. I didn't think she was on her way back. I thought she was going, you know, stay down there out of the fear of what happened to Alton. But she came back, and it's some it's some things sparking up, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then listen, man, the other dynamic with Louis, man, between her and Franklin, you know, that was something else. You know what I'm saying? Them at the dinner with the, you know, with Louis doing what she did. I think that's gonna kind of cause a rift between her and Jerome right now. You know what I'm saying? But of course, her and Franklin, you know, with episode 3, we seen how it ended with them two kind of beefing. And then now we kind of seeing how, you know, that's kind of, you know what I'm saying, being extended. And then yeah, like you said, Leon is, of course, like I said, he's doing a great job. But I think this is the beginning of us seeing like Leon go down this like revolutionary path. I think like later down the line, because I think we only got maybe 6 episodes left, maybe.
Yeah, I thought they're probably gonna go to 10.
Yeah, they might do like 10 or 8. Hopefully they do 10. But I think we're gonna kind of see Leon getting away from the game. You know what I'm saying? The more and more this season goes on. And then V, you know, listen, she's something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot we don't know about her.
Yeah.
Of course, like I said, she popped up. Well, we know she popped up out of nowhere, but when she was talking to Franklin and they was, you know, having that conversation on the couch, and then she cocked that gun, I was like, oh. So I don't know, man. They throwing some haymakers on this episode, man. So where you want to start, bro?
That definitely are. Let's start with V real quick.
Okay.
I don't want to throw everybody in the fire yet. This is just for if we just got people who just listen to the Snowfall episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I found out some information. I spoke about it on the coming soon of the last episode that we did, that V actually been around for a while.
Right.
When Franklin bought that, well, he kind of strong armed this family who owned this black bookstore into selling the store. Well, they ended up doing a lawsuit, and V actually was, I think she was his lawyer, and they formed a friendship since then. And that, so he didn't just meet her a year and a half ago. So he's been knowing V for a while. So let's get that out of the way. But V has parents issues, apparently. Her mother, I don't know if her mother was in the game or if her mom was a prostitute or what, but her mom was into something. because she was like her mom, taught her how to use a gun because she would have to save her sometimes. And it's like okay, so what kind of background did you have? So she actually they're starting to pull back some of the layers, and we're starting to learn more and more about V as the time go on. So it's like, okay, now they haven't pulled back enough to where I still don't have my, one eye looking at her, while I'm sleeping. Like I'm still not, she's still not out of the woods for me yet.
Right.
And it's just like, because it's with her wanting to be more involved and going to the club when she usually don't go, when it's a situation like what happened at the projects. Like she usually don't go, but now she's going. And it's kind of like, is the reason you want to be there is to, okay, I'm gonna stop saying she the police, but I'm just saying like it's just something weird about it, man. Something weird about it. But
that's an interesting point. Real quick though, that's an interesting point because I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think that's not her doing that. I think that's Franklin asking her to do that. And the reason I say that is because that conversation that I don't want to jump too far ahead, but that conversation that he had with Leon, right, when he was asking him about going to the dinner for Sissy, and he was saying like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Family is like, you know what I'm saying? Family is important. Like that's the most important thing right now. So I think that he's trying to get her to come along so he'll still have that image. Because if you notice, he also had Dallas and Black Diamond with him when he went to go see Leon too.
Yeah.
And it seems as if like, you know what I'm saying, they kind of getting acclimated into, that family role. But what was interesting was he didn't have Peaches with him.
Not when he went there.
Not when he went to see Leon. We didn't see Peaches this whole episode.
No, we didn't see Peaches. You remember he was playing dominoes.
Right. I'm sorry, you're right.
To the club, he got up, but then he sat back down. So I thought that was kind of weird.
And then also him bringing them two along, and that I think, you know what I'm saying, he's trying to get them acclimated into that family role. But with her being there, I think that's kind of giving, you know what I'm saying, like he's trying to show that first off, she could be trusted. You know what I'm saying? Because he trusts her, of course, but she could be trusted. And then not only that, she kind of, you know what I'm saying, as far as the business side, she kind of the damn brains of the operation. I mean, not the cocaine operation, but the actual business, you know what I'm saying, the real estate thing that they're doing. She kind of, you know what I'm saying, holding it down.
Yeah, because I think that's a lot of hats for Franklin to have to wear. Being 24, having to run a drug enterprise, you get your pilot's license, so you don't have to hire someone else. I think that was the main reason he got the pilot's license. It's for the simple fact, I don't want to have to pay somebody, and then I would have to trust them to, you know what I mean? So that's a lot. So, you get your pilot's license, and you're trying to run a real estate thing. So I think that's a lot of hats to be wearing, and then also dealing with the stuff that he's dealing with Louis and Jerome, and then you got Leon over here who's like you said earlier, like he's inching away from the game,
right?
And I mentioned, and I say this again, like ever since he shot that kid, Leon has been different.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, so we'll stay in the V, but we'll kind of move into Sissy a little bit because, so they're having the conversation where Leon is going ape shit about what happened at the raid, which he should be very upset because his door was the one that was broken in. Like everybody else's door is fine.
Coincidentally,
yeah, you know what I mean. So he stops talking. Sissy walks in, and that's when Sissy's like, I heard the news, and that's when everybody found out that V is pregnant. And it's like initially seeing her, first she went home and she noticed that somebody was living there or whatnot. And she started having visions about the past and things like that. But like, what are your thoughts on every time that we saw Sissy? She's another person, like when she's on screen, it's kind of like,
oh man,
you kind of perk up a little bit, like you kind of like, like I kind of lean in to make sure I don't miss nothing, because like she is doing a tremendous job. Like the actress that's playing her is doing a tremendous job, man. So how did you feel about, that scene of her walking in, the scene of her when they was in the limo, one of the most important scenes, which we'll get into that, because I think that this is very important, when she was talking to Leon, and then of course how the show ended. Like what's your thoughts on what we seeing with Sissy right now?
Well, first and foremost, I think I want to say her name is Michael.
Her real name something is like that. Yeah, she has a guy name.
Yeah, but I think it's pronounced like Michael Hyatt or whatever. But it's interesting, you know what I'm saying, that she plays this role because like she's she's not that old, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like she's not this, like, I don't know how to pronounce it, but like she's really not that old. Like she's probably in like her late 40s, maybe, if that.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's the same thing I talked about on when I did that episode with my cousin Brandon when we did Fat Tuesday. Dude, it's Pops in House Party.
Yeah.
When he died, he was 36 years old.
You talking about Robin
Harris?
Yeah.
Robin Harris was 36.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And it's just and he had a high school student and kid. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, so this is like the same situation.
They have this like maturity about them on screen, especially in this role. She has this like, because this isn't the only thing that she's been in. I've seen her in other things, but like in this show particular, especially in this role, like she has this maturity about her, right? And I think for her to be so, also she's British.
Yeah.
Like, let's not forget
born
that.
In England and her Jamaican parents.
Yeah, her and Damson, you know what I'm saying, with that British connection. I think that's why they, you know what I'm saying, kind of work so well together. But her in these scenes, it's not the for me, it's not the lines, it's not the when she's talking, it's her facial expressions, her body language, you know what I'm saying? Those, you know what I'm saying, small pieces of acting that usually, you know what I'm saying, bring out the character. And like when she went to go see Franklin and Veronique at, you know what I'm saying, the office, and you know what I'm saying, she was, like you said, she knew somebody was at the house and she was talking to Wanda. And it was weird because I thought that she had knew Wanda, but I don't know why I thought that, because that was Leon's girlfriend or whatever. I don't know why I thought that they knew of each other or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, she got introduced to Wanda or whatever and blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, once they start breaking everything down to her, you know, she was sitting in that chair and then, you know what I'm saying, she zoned out.
She zoned out.
Yeah, she zoned out. Like in the middle of them talking and, you know, getting straight to business, she zoned out. And then, you know what I'm saying, even her going to talk to Leon, you know what I'm saying, her body language and that, it was like she had this motherly aura about her. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't go in there and hassle him about nothing. It was like a caring, nurturing, you know what I'm saying, like vibe that she was carrying, on top of, you know, listen, I know you want to do something stupid, but it's a better way to do this. So it's like, even at the dinner, you know what I'm saying, at the dinner she was chipper, but you could tell, like, in the back of her mind something was bothering her. And we already know that it's, you know, Alton's death, but it's just like the way she portrays that worry, the way she portrays that, you know what I'm saying, like that anxiety, it's amazing, bro. Like, it's amazing. But I think that she's doing a great job as far as not just portraying that, but just like we said with Leon, the scenes that she's in, they have to focus on her. Even when she's not saying or doing anything, they have to focus on her. Like even with like even in the scene with her, you know what I'm saying, at the office, like just saying Veronique was talking to her, you could tell just like the response to Veronique. Like it was just when she was saying stuff to her, or even just like when she was talking to Wanda about, living in the house. She was like, "Oh, you the person that's been living in my house." It wasn't like a snooty thing. It was just like a month, like like somebody mom, like, "Oh, you the you the person that's been there." So I think she's doing an amazing job, man. What you think?
She is, man, and also you also got to notice we never seen Wanda Mama, we never seen Leon Mama.
No, we have seen Leon Mama. We seen Leon Mama once because it was it was when actually we seen it more than once.
Yeah.
The first time is when they went over there. The first time when they went over there, when Franklin that went over there, and there was all them kids in the house.
Yeah.
And then it was another time when he had went back to go get that money that he buried in the yard.
Yeah.
That was too.
And she let him spend the night, but she told him you can't stay here.
Yeah. So he
was mad that she spent the money. That's right.
Exactly.
But I don't think they're communicating though.
Right.
And also we also got to remember what she done for him. I mean, I like at that time. She didn't say much. Like Sissy is like one of the most important characters in this thing that we really don't appreciate enough. Like when Leon was going through that shit, she didn't say nothing.
Right.
All she did was braid his hair, but that's all he needed.
Yeah.
He didn't need a lecture.
That motherly nurturing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, right.
Yeah, like that's all he needed at that time. And like she's doing that now. So let's go ahead and get into the shits. I think that so Leon meets with Javi, and so he's going off, and Javi's trying to talk him down. Like, look, I've seen these type of revolution things in my life.
The real version of it too.
Yeah, Javi's, when you look at his age, when you're talking about, I thought it was 1986, but I saw a calendar in the back when Louis and Jerome was having a conversation. The calendar said 1984, but the land buy shit happened in 86. I don't know if the calendar is old or what. So let's just say calendar. So let's say it's 1986. So if Javi is in his like 40s and 50s, he's seen some shit.
Yo, big time.
So he's trying to tell Leon, like, yo, like, look, I seen some shit and the shit don't end well. And what I thought was a stupid thing that he said was,
I'm sorry, bro. You actually making a great point, actually, because I want you to keep where you at, but I don't want to skip over that because you just made a great point. So if he's in his 40s and 50s, right? Then he has seen some real shit because in the 80s, if you take that back, 40 years ago, he was like maybe in his early teens or just getting into his early teens during like the Holocaust.
But we don't know where is Javi from though?
But he's Jewish.
He's Jewish?
Yeah.
That's right, because remember he was
killing the Nazi. Exactly. So yeah, you're right about that. That's what I said. But go ahead, finish that. I just wanted to touch on that because that was an interesting point.
Yeah, so he's trying to have a conversation with him, but I thought what was now look, everybody's different. But when he was like, when he was talking about how successful it could be, and he was like, look, he said, it depends on what you think success is. He was like, if I could take one of them out before I go, then that's successful. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, right. So he just like, so basically they made a deal. He said, come back in a few weeks. So fast forward back to him having a conversation with Sissy. I think that he had his mindset on what he wanted to do. Facts. I think that conversation with Sissy, I think now with her telling him, yo, I was with the Panthers and we found other ways to help the neighborhood without firing a shot. He's like, maybe you should. But then like once she started going in depth with it, I think that she started to I think that from him going to 0 to 100, I think he kind of backed down to the 50s and 40s because I think now he's like, oh shit. Because when you think about the things that the Panthers done when it came to free clinics, when it came to SNCC and WIC and shit like that, that is the shit that that's the shit that ended up helping the black community. And Leon just want to fire at the cops because, you know what I'm saying, they hit him in the mouth. But like what Sissy's trying to tell him, and you also got to look at what he did. He's messing with this bus driver, and he's taking the people out the projects to different places. So he's already on that good track. And like Sissy told him, you're going to end up dead or in jail, and that's exactly what they want. So how do you feel about that conversation between Leon and Sissy? And do you think that he kind of, you know what I'm saying, slowed his roll a little bit, or you still think he's like, nah, fuck that shit, I want to shoot all these cops?
Well, before I get there, I want to get to the conversation with Leon and Avi, because that was to me part one of the conversation with Sissy and Leon. Because Sissy and Avi was kind of saying the same thing. Well, not even kind of, they were saying the same thing. Like, yo, you know, you can go to bat with them if you want to, but you know what you got to realize is we talking about the police. We talking about, you know, if you get up on them, then they can call in the National Guard, and the National Guard can turn into the Army, and that's what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? I think that the situation Avi's coming from is, you know, we know that he's some type of European. You know what I'm saying? We know that. Now, where, nobody knows, of course, but we know that he's some type of European. So we know that he's probably seen some war-torn moments. Like you said, him being in his maybe 50s and 60s, ain't no telling what he really seen. But I thought it was smart for him to have that conversation with him and let him know, like, yo, you know, you can do this, but this is something that you really have to pay attention to. And the key point in all of it was, if you die, then who's going to be here to protect your people? You know what I'm saying? And then going into the conversation he had with Sissy, she said the same thing. You know, just like you said, they want you dead or in jail. Because if you're dead or in jail, then who's going to protect your people? You know what I'm saying? I think that was the whole focal point of those conversations. Excuse me, especially in contrast of, like you said, what he's been doing by taking them and just, you know, taking the kids in the neighborhood and just taking them to a beach. You know what I'm saying? Like with most people, you see that or you hear that and you just think, well, he's just going to the beach. There's nothing. But you got to think about it like these kids have never left the projects. These kids have never left this area. So for them to go see certain things and go, you know, saying, see different places, like that's expanding their mind so much more. And then they'll realize as they grow older, like it's so much more out here than just this. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that conversation that he had with Sissy was very important, not only because she was the mother figure, not just for Franklin, but for him also. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like they don't know each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think in that scene where she came in when he was, you know, hiding from Scully and them, and she braided his hair, like that was just one of those things, like taking it personally, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got, you know what I'm saying, best friends that I call brothers. And, you know what I'm saying, like they come to the house and they call my mom.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? My brother Dre, same thing with him. I call his mom. I don't call her Miss Carter. I call her, you know what I'm saying, Mom. Like, because we've been around each other so long, it's like family. So like him and Franklin are like family, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for her to have that conversation with him, I do think it brought him down. I do think it's going to have a different effect on him and make him actually think about, you know what I'm saying, the route he want to take, or maybe even plan out different what he's trying to do. Now, do I think he's still going to go get them weapons? I 100% think that, because he's definitely going to be prepared next time. But I don't think that he's going to be the aggressor in certain situations. I think, like I said, I think we're going to start seeing him take a totally different path, because we already starting to see it now. You know what I'm saying, with doing the thing with the kids in the bus. But we also seen it last season where, you know what I'm saying, he was talking to, I think her name was Tiana, Scully's girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying, like he was talking to her and he was just like, yo, like, I didn't mean to shoot your child. Like, that was never, I'd have never did nothing like that. But, you know, it's you kind of you seen his, and I don't want to say growth. I'm just saying like you kind of see his evolution because it's a different, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not really growing, he's really more so changing. And I think after that you'll start to see his growth. But yeah, I'm interested to see how he responds to that. But that conversation, man, she definitely got him down. Because you could see in his face, even like he really thought about you know what I'm saying, like what she was saying. She was making some valid points, like, yo, okay, you can go out there and you can shoot with him, but you know what I'm saying, if you dead or in jail, then what good are you to the community? You sitting here talking about the community. Well, the community needs you, and the community can't do nothing with you if you dead or in jail. So yeah, I thought that was I think she had a influence on him for sure.
And I think that look, don't get me wrong, I get it, but I think that he going just a little to the extreme to where he couldn't take one night to go celebrate with Sissy. It's just like, dude, like I get it, but it's just like, so what, you gonna end your whole life because there's some bad shit happening to black people? It's like, dude, that happens every day.
It's not just that, bro. Like you also got to remember, it didn't just happen to black people. It happened to not just his people. It happened to him. Remember, his house was the only house that got raided like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So you got to think about his mindset. Like, okay, so they must know something about me. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to think in those shoes. You know what I mean? So at this point, I think it's more so survival than anything else. You know, you don't want to be out here. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much stranded and open when a situation like that comes about, or you don't even want, you know what I'm saying, you don't want your habitat to be open and stranded. You know what I'm saying? Like one night out, kicking it with you know what I'm saying, with your folks could be another raid, and then ain't no telling what happened in. So, I mean, I kind of understood how he was feeling, but I do agree that he should have went to that dinner. And then maybe if he went to that dinner, we wouldn't have had the, you know what I'm saying, the beef moment.
Yeah. So how do you feel about, listen, yo, this rapper dude, man, we got to get into him, man. This dude
oh my god!
We got to get into.
Hey man, listen. First and foremost, I will say this: that shit was weak. He needed to get back in the studio because them shits was trash. But the fact that this nigga is writing dishes in the 80s and really telling, like
really he real names and everything.
Yes. Like, yes. He ain't making no metaphors. He ain't got no similes, no entendres, nothing. This nigga is just snitching on wax. Get this man out of here, bro. Who is dude?
I don't know who this dude is, but Jerome was in there crying, my God. This dude had to rewind the tape, pause it, and rewind it. He said that Jerome got eyes became C. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yo. What'd he say? Unc got the nephew is with the blind eyes and can't see. Oh, come on, man.
Yo, I'm like.
But Leon shot TT, and I'm like, yo, who is doing this? And why is this going through the hood?
And you thought nobody was gonna say nothing. Like you sit there and saying how Franklin ain't no saint for number one. That's what he said. And then he's like, he killed rest in peace to Tiana and all this shit. So you know they killing people, but you gonna put it on wax and tell them and think that nobody's gonna come to you.
This is the only this was the interesting thing to me, right? So this has to be like this has to be 86.
Mm-hmm.
Because like niggas wasn't, first and foremost, niggas wasn't really rapping like that in the early 80s. So
it was coming, but it wasn't yet. Because I think NWA, I think Straight Outta Compton came out in 89, but they had that one album.
No, I'm talking about like the way he was rapping. Like the way he was rapping, like niggas wasn't rapping like that yet. Because you got to remember, like,
because it's like, don't push me.
So I'm saying, like
the cadence was different.
But like the way he was rapping, like that sounded like a nigga that was rapping in 86. He was offbeat. He couldn't find a pocket. Like all that shit was just horrible. But it was interesting because like he was dissing him, but like around that time, that's around the time that, you know what I'm saying, like those kind of tracks was coming out. And then the only thing that threw me off was like the cassette tape thing.
Wow, that's
Like,
86,
am I tripping?
Yeah, cassette tapes.
86?
Yeah, I think cassettes was out then because you got to think about it. CDs came out in the early 90s.
Right. But I'm trying to think, like, when was 8-tracks? 8-tracks was like the 60s and 70s, right?
70s, yeah.
Okay, never mind then. Cool, okay. That's the only thing that was throwing me out because I'm like, because when I was looking at it, I'm like, did niggas have cassette tape? But I guess they would.
Yeah, 86, cassette tapes was out then.
Okay, cool.
Then,
that's the only thing that I was thrown out by.
Yeah, I just felt that I don't see why this dude thought he was like, yo, man, y'all killing my whole album. It's like, no, you killing your whole album. Like what are you doing?
First off, that album is weak. let's just call a spade. Stop rapping, sir. That's what you should stop doing.
Hey, at least he tried, but it's like at the same time, it's like, yo, man, you can't change no names though, really. Like, even though they still would have figured it out, but like, yo, dude is wilding, and all it does is now we have to think this way: did they get all the tapes before the tapes got out? Which I don't think they did. So I think somehow
I don't think that's gonna make a difference because at that time niggas wasn't going down for lyric shit.
No, but I think that if that tape fall into the wrong hands, it's gonna come back on Franklin and it's gonna cause another issue.
That's true.
And I don't think all of the tapes were caught. I think that some of them tapes got out before, and I think we're gonna see that later. And I think that's when they're gonna kill that dude. Is when I don't know if maybe Scully gonna hear it. I don't know if the cop dude gonna hear it. Somebody's gonna hear that tape, and it's gonna cause another issue.
Quit bringing that nigga up. The cop dude, leave him out of everything. I don't like that nigga, man.
I don't either, man.
That better be Irene Abe Part 2.
It's gonna be because they're gonna have to put it in a situation where, or either it's gonna be a situation where she give him some bad drugs, laced with some shit, and he's just gonna die from an overdose.
I ain't think about that.
Yeah, I think that's what she's gonna end up doing.
Well, see, you can't do it that way because that's gonna be bad for them.
Well, not if he does it at his own home. If he do it at the club, then it's gonna be bad for them. But if he do it at home and then they just, they're like, hey, what's name didn't show up today? Then they go to his house and he and that bitch dead. Yeah,
well, I mean,
battery acid.
Hey, listen, that boy Teddy might, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't think Teddy know about him yet. But
no, not yet. I'm just saying, Teddy find out. Peep.
Yeah,
siphon filter.
And also to get to him, I don't think Franklin understood until Teddy said this. Even though he's in the middle with Teddy still, and they still got this awkward relationship, but I think what Teddy said when they had that meeting made a lot of sense. And I know Franklin's mad, but it's the truth. He said that you don't have any people at the, at LAPD. He was like, yo, your dad blew my whole cover.
Yeah, he fucked all that up.
And he's like, he thinking like, shit, he did do that. So now the decisions that his dad made then is now affecting him now when Teddy was trying to tell him, yo, we got to take care of your pops. And when he called Teddy out by his name, by the Reed name, he lost all of his contacts that he had with the FBI. I mean, with the LAPD. So that did come back to backfire on Franklin.
Yeah. So, man, let's get into this dinner, man. So, you know what I'm saying? They have it. Well, Franklin's holding, you know what I'm saying, a welcome back dinner, for Sissy, and Jerome is asking Louis to show up, even though her and Franklin are having issues. Louis is like kind of, falling back from it. You could kind of tell she didn't want to go. Well, ain't no kind of tell. You could definitely tell she didn't want to go because of what her and Franklin were going through. And then basically, you know what I'm saying, Franklin had to woo her into the situation. He had to basically make her feel guilty about what was going on. And you know what I'm saying? He finally got her to come around. But unfortunately, what ended up happening was Louis felt the way about what was, about the Franklin situation still, and maybe had a few too much to drink, and then, you could tell there was tension in the air, even Sissy seen it. But yeah, Louis kind of pulled a dirty move, man. I think she was in the wrong on this one. For her, asking about Alton, especially in that environment. Yeah, it's setting. That's a better word. But especially in that setting, with them just trying to celebrate, she kind of, flipped the script on everybody, man. And then you kind of seen it in Franklin's eyes, like, should I off this bit? Like, should I kill her? You know what I mean? Like, I know that's my auntie and all, but should I, we ain't related, but should I kill her? So I thought that was very interesting. Especially with what she did, bro. I thought that was a dirty, dirty move too. How did you feel about her bringing that up and just kind of like putting all the cards out on the table? You know what I'm saying?
It was a bad move, and then also you're gonna sit there and be funny and act like you're not gonna go. And Jerome got to convince you to go, and then you go, and then you cause a scene.
Yeah,
it's like Louis, like what is up with you, yo? So, she is. I thought that it was a bad move. I thought that, like you said, that the setting, the mood, all of it was wrong. That wasn't the place to do. And what ended up happening is that ride home got awkward.
Yeah.
Because he tried to change the situation. The conversation and say, "Yo, Jerome them got a horse," and Jerome is playing along like, "Boo,"
Right. I mean, because it's his sister. He don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he don't
especially
do that
in
right now.
In that setting, like you said, bro. Like, we here to celebrate her coming back. Like, this ain't the time for that.
Yeah, this ain't the time for that. And then that conversation that it sparked, it's like now listen, man. This show is so good about doing this.
Yeah, buddy.
I don't know what Sissy's. I don't know what her intentions are anymore. Because it's like she's like, "Yo, Franklin, like, don't leave me in the dark again. Like, I'm not trying to be a burden, but I want to help." But then we see her meet with the dude, and she's like, "Yo, I had contact with my family."
No, don't get there yet. Don't get there
yet.
Okay,
but it's just like. Is she being genuine, or is it that she's trying to end this shit once and for all?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was thinking too.
What are you feeling, man?
Okay, so I don't want to get to that because we're gonna do that next. But as far as the dinner part goes, right? And the ride with, you know what I'm saying, her, Franklin, Veronique. I think the dinner just kind of exposed kind of a chink in Franklin's armor at the time, for Sissy at least. And then the ride home, I think she kind of used that. She kind of used the emotion from that to basically, put herself, you know what I'm saying, in position to get in, or at least get back in where she was, because she made a very interesting point talking to Veronique. She was like, well, talking to Franklin about Veronique. She was like, well, I bet she knows about everything, don't she? And he was like, yeah. And she like, yeah, I bet she even knew about Teddy and everything else. So, so she kind of gave him that good old guilt trip. Like, yo, you can tell your girl everything, but nigga, I'm your mama. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk to me too. Come on now, let me in. And so I thought that was interesting because, especially about what we about to get into. Like you said, her intentions may not be as genuine or pure as we think they are. And, this may be, unfortunately, another downfall for Franklin. I mean, this one is different because, At first it was Alton, you know what I mean? And he kind of had a shaky relationship with Alton. So I think it's easy for him, especially like the way they talk about it, I think it's kind of easy for him to not really care about Alton getting killed in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because you could tell he still has some sort of resentment there. But I think with this situation now, it's going to be a little bit different if Sissy is the one that's, taking Alton's place. So let's get into it. The meeting at the diner, last but not least, man, the meeting at the diner. You know what I'm saying? End of the episode, Sissy is talking to this guy named Ruben. Or Ruben, or whatever, however he said his name. He seems as if he's like this Cuban connection. You know what I'm saying? That they probably had, you know what I'm saying, ties to. You already know, I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, about the Panthers being linked up with the Cubans and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Cha Guerrera. Now that's what I'm interested in seeing too. I wonder if they talk about Cha Guerrera in this too. Because I think that was around the time he was, you know what I mean, doing his thing. He was a revolutionary around this time. I want to say, let me double check. But the conversation she was having with Ruben, she kind of seemed kind of shaky about it, but it seemed as if like basically she was giving him information about Teddy, mentioning how, he's back, you know what I'm saying, and she can, get in contact with him and all this other stuff. Well, she knows how to get contact to him and everything else. So when you seen this, like, what was your initial thoughts?
Like I said, I don't know what her intentions are.
Yeah.
So that was my first thoughts, was like for them to end the show like that on that cliffhanger. I was like, oh shit, like what is Sissy thinking? And my whole thing is what I believe she's trying to do. First of all, she want to sit down with Teddy before they off him. She's made that clear, to see if he's going to admit what he did to Alton. But I think what she's going to try to do is, I think what her intentions are is to make sure she do help Verity with the whole plan that they got put together, get rid of Teddy, and then get Franklin completely out the game.
Right.
I think that is what her intentions are, and she's also gonna use the baby card. Look, you got a baby on the way. This is the best time to get out, but she also wants answers and revenge on Teddy as well. So I think that may be what her intentions are, but I don't know how Franklin's going to feel about. I think Franklin's whole thing is he don't want to be forced out. I think that he wants to leave on his own terms, and I think that could put some resentment towards him and Sissy, but also we don't want to really admit it, but Franklin has a fear for Teddy. Like, he knows that Teddy could really fuck him up.
I don't think he fears Teddy.
I'm gonna tell you why. You gotta also remember that whole situation with him and Oso went and fucked all those people up. And we was like, yo, Teddy's more than what we thought. He wasn't pushing papers and shit like we thought he was.
No, 100%. I agree with you on that. But I think Franklin don't fear Teddy.
Okay.
I think that so to me, right, Franklin and Teddy are two sides of the same coin. Very calculated. They pay attention to detail, hyper intelligent, you know what I'm saying? Like they are very, very smart people. Teddy is the privileged version of Franklin to me, right? And Franklin is the less privileged version of Teddy. Even in their interactions, right? Like, you don't really, like, when he's talking to Teddy a lot of times, like, ain't no, like, he don't fear him. He's like, in some instances, like, he buck up to Teddy, and you know what I mean? Like, he let him know, like, hey, yo, like, don't forget, nigga, like, I'm moving this for you. Like, I ain't doing this to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, I forgot what episode it was, but when they had the conversation, he was like, yo, yeah, you chose me to move this. You ain't the other way. I didn't come searching for you. You know what I'm saying? But I think on the other side of that, Teddy knows, like, yo, this dude is super smart. He knows basically he knows everything that's going on. And, you know, if he wanted to, he could possibly end me. Remember when everything had happened, he had those files, like I want to say it was maybe season 2 or 3, and when he had the house, when he bought that one house, and then he just had everything out, and he found out about Teddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, I don't think he fears him. I just think that he because he mentions it a lot. And he says it, he said it maybe like 2 or 3 times in this last episode. He said, like, yo, as long as I keep moving product for him, he ain't gonna do nothing to me. So I think he knows, like, as long as I'm doing everything that I got to do, we gonna be okay, and we don't have to worry about that. So, I mean, that's just my process. I don't think he fears him, though. I think he's aware of the situation, and he knows what roles everybody's playing in.
Okay, so get to the sissy point about how you feel, like what she's into, what you think may happen, and all that stuff.
So with Sissy, right? I think, and that's why I brought up Sha Guerrero, because of his, you know what I'm saying, like his links with the Cuban, you know what I'm saying, revolt and everything else. And I hope they bring that up, because I mean, I know it was way before this happened. I think it was like 20, 30 years before this happened, as far as timeline wise. But that ideology, right, is going to be something that is being brought into, you know what I'm saying, what's going on, only because it's kind of the same fight. You know what I mean? Her going to Cuba and possibly running into revolutionaries, possibly even meeting other Black Panthers. We may even hear about Afeni Shakur, whatever the situation may be. No, is that right? Afeni? Ain't that the one that went to Cuba?
I think so, because Eldridge Cleaver and his girl, they went to Algiers.
Right. But Afeni is the right one, right?
I believe so. I believe that's the one that ended up going to Cuba. I think it was another one that went to Cuba as well. I can't remember who that was, though.
Yep, that's her, Afeni Shakur. Okay, so we might even hear about like Afeni Shakur and everything else. So I just wanted to make sure I'm getting these facts right. I don't want to just be saying nothing. I mean, so yeah, like, so for her kind of witnessing that Cuban Revolution and then coming back to the States, you know what I'm saying, her being a former Black Panther along with Alton and everything else, like, I think we kind of maybe misjudged who she is really.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That might be the twist that they throw at us this season. But I mean, her meeting with Ruben is I think that's a super focal point in the show. I might have to even go back and rewatch that just to catch, you know what I'm saying, something maybe I may have missed. But I think that's going to be like a huge turn in the show, because now it's going to be something to where we can see why she's zoned out in this episode. We can see why she wasn't as attentive as she usually is in those environments. I think she really has it out for. I think she's going to try Teddy, and this may be either, to me, I think this may be the death of Sissy or the death of Teddy at either the end of this season, or if it's another season, then.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see what you're saying. Cool, man. Great fucking episode.
So, listen, man, if you guys watch Snowfall, you know what I'm saying, you guys want to, you know what I'm saying, talk about it, hit us up, let us know. We'll get that going, you know what I'm saying. Follow us on the social medias, you already, you know what I'm saying, know. And talk, man, let's talk about it. You know what I mean? But let's get into this coming soon, bro.
Yes, sir.
Coming soon.
All right, so coming off of Snowfall, man, I think that this documentary is the perfect segue. This is the perfect segue, you know what I'm saying, for this, you know what I'm saying, for this whole conversation. Not only was they slanging that, you know what I'm saying, that coke in Cali, you know what I mean, and rocking it up, but they was just slanging coke in Miami, man. Miami was the place to be, you know what I'm saying. We saw Scarface, you know what I'm saying. We seen Carlito's Way. You know
that was
in
New York, though.
Yeah, but they was all of the same, you know.
Nationality?
No, they was all of the same route. Where you think they was getting it from in New York?
Yeah.
Not
I-95.
Hey, go straight up and down, baby. Go straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to get on that highway every now and then.
Nah. I do 85. 95 is I do more.
Oh,
85.
that's right. You further.
Yeah, I'm further in.
Yeah, you further towards me. Okay. So yeah. This documentary I already watched, and let me tell you something, bro. These niggas was doing. When you get money, bro. When you get money, right? You never know what you really into until you really get money.
Yep.
These niggas had a boat racing team, bro.
And was on ESPN.
Nigga. A boat racing team, bro. We talking about Cocaine Cowboys, man. The King of Miami Netflix documentary. Y'all go check this one out. This was wild, bro.
This was super wild.
Matter of fact, I think this was Scarface was based off of, wasn't it?
Yeah, like they took some things, you know, kind of like how New Jack City, when the writer of New Jack City took some stuff from the Chamber Brothers. Yeah, like they kind of did that with Scarface.
So.
Like, they kind of took some shit. Well, the writers of Scarface took some shit from their real story.
I thought so because I remember them mentioning that in the doc. But man, let me tell you something, bro. These niggas had a boat racing team. I didn't even know boat racing was a thing, bro.
Hey, we live in the wrong demographic, man.
I'm telling you, when you get money,
in Miami.
Period. Just money. When you get money, you realize, bro, there's all kind of things to do in this country and in this world, but you can't access them unless you got that paper. Let me tell you something. They had that paper.
They did.
They had that paper, man. So, next episode, man, y'all get ready. We gonna bring y'all the story of the Cocaine Cowboys. I don't like the fact that they named them the Cocaine Cowboys only because they're in Miami.
Well, it's a series. Like this is the third installment. So like Billy Corbin just uses the name Cocaine Cowboys.
Yeah, you know I'm just saying, like I'm just saying just in general. I just don't like the fact that they named them Cocaine Cow. I mean, I get the alliteration, but you can't call them Cocaine Cowboys. They weren't in Texas, man, or in the West.
Man, it's just like dude, Cocaine Cowboys 2 was talking about Griselda Blanca, man.
Hey, let me tell you something about Griselda Blanca.
Hey, I love her name. Griselda Blanca sounds like
a fire name, but she was a fool.
She was, but
she had a boyfriend,
a black dude who just that shit was funny.
Shout out to him.
Yes.
He was like the Stedman of the drug game.
He was. He definitely was.
He was the Stedman of the drug game. But man, listen, the Kings of Miami, man, this is around the time where, you know what I'm saying, those tropical button-up linen shirts was hot. You know what I'm saying?
With the taco meat showing.
With the taco meat showing, small gold chain. You know what I'm saying? You may or may not have a fedora. You know what I'm saying? Definitely got the cigar popping. Hey, listen, this is when Vice City was the game to, you know what I'm saying, that whole Vice City, you know what I'm saying, Grand Theft Auto. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about right here. This is the reason why Vice City was one of the best Grand Theft Auto games, because of stories like this. So go check this out, man, when we drop it. You know what I'm saying? Also, you know what I'm saying, hit us up on the socials, IG and Twitter at View9Pod. Hit us up on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. Let us know what you think about the episode and previous episodes before. Also, you know what I'm saying, let us know about the Fire Flames whenever, you know what I'm saying, you listen to the episode. Hit us up with that. And hit me up, man, on Twitter at Scoots Bronson. You could also hit me up on TikTok at Scoops Bronson TV. Make sure you hit that follow button. You know what I'm saying? Also, you can hit me up on Twitter too, man. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to donate to the show or if you like what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying, you want to give a little change, I got that tip button on Twitter. Hit that up.
Yes, sir. And y'all can follow me at s.foster8. That's on IG and Instagram. At 28 Minutes or Less Pod on IG. Still got the episode of Euphoria season 2 still out, but I got something else on the way. So be on the lookout for a new episode of 28 Minutes or Less. And you can find it on all major platforms. And appreciate everybody for listening, man. Appreciate this support.
For sure, man. Just like as I said, man, thank you for listening. We thank you for your support. Greatly appreciate it. And like they say in Hollywood, man, never mind, that's a bad move. I was gonna act like I was sniffing cocaine, but that's horrible. So
man.
I don't know why I was about to do that. Because anyway, man, like I said, Hollywood, man, that's a wrap.
Cut.